Hey everybody, God's Child and NC here. Brought you back for another video. Sorry it's been so long since my last one. I just got on the other night and noticed the fact that it's been over a month since I posted the video on me making my knife. Hopefully y'all tuned in for the fact of me modifying the old hickory butcher knife. Well, what I'm going to do today is my next project is I need to make a sheath for it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my old worn out boots, got the sole all just tore up, my old worn out boot. I'm going to cut it up and just completely disassemble it. I'm going to reuse the leather in it, and I'm going to make a knife sheath. Hopefully I'll be able to make two knife sheaths. I may not show you the second one because it'll be the same thing as the first, but I'll show you how I'm going to make this knife sheath. Okay folks, what I have here is I've got all the things I need to make my sheath. I've got my stitcher, my awl, it's actually for a lock stitch, but I've got my stitcher, got my knife, I've got half of the upper on the boot. You can see here the way it's cut. I've got like the front half of this, as you can see by the shape of it, and I've got the toe, which when the boot was together, it was together like that. But anyways, I'm going to use this for the body of the sheath. I'm going to use the toe. I'm going to cut a piece out of this and use that for the welt inside of it. I've got my shears to cut the leather. I've also got one of the pull tabs, so that way I'll take and put the pull tab on here and use that for a belt loop. Alright then, why don't we get started? Okay, first thing, I'm going to take my knife, put my knife here, give me an idea of where it's got to be. And one of the things I am going to do, because of the fact that it's coming in so deep, the handle sits in so deep, what I have to do, I'm going to hold the front end right there. I'm going to take and wrap the leather out along the back, and it's coming all across the handle, so that way I've got the additional depth for the handle. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take a piece of this. You can see here where it was attached to the boot. I'm going to cut that off, and then I'm going to cut another strip out of this and use that strip for the welt. As you can see, this is more than long enough for the blade. So here, let's get that cut. But we'll keep going with it. There we go, that's a little better. That's a bit better. Getting up in that hard area up by the toe, you can hear the scissors. You can hear the scissors cutting a whole lot better. What I'm doing is I'm just following that line where it was attached to the boot. I'm cutting off that bottom section because, one, it's permanently creased there, and two, it's all full of holes from where the stitching went. You can see the stitches here. and that leather comes down and tucks under. if I had, these are really just a cheap pair of boots that I had gotten from Walmart, and if I had realized just actually the fact that they actually put these together pretty well. Materials obviously could have been a little better, but if I had realized how well they put them together, I probably would have tried to go and get them resold. But I didn't think they were put together all that well. Found out different when I took them apart. Alright guys, here's that piece I cut off. Well, okay. I was going to try and use it for a piece of leather thong, but as you saw, I just broke it in half, so I don't need that. Alright, and I'll cut around to the toe, so it lays flat. I need it to lay flat. And generally speaking, guys, you could do this a whole lot easier if you took and, or a whole lot better, I should say, if you actually took and laid this out, made a pattern, all that good stuff. I'm just kind of doing it my style and winging it. I know that's not the greatest way in the world to do things, especially when we're talking about conserving resources and using our resources wisely, because just sort of winging it ain't exactly using it wisely. Alright, I'm going to leave a gap there, pull that up, and if I need to I can cut excess off. But I'm just going to flip this over and cut a strip down this. I'm not going to go too wide, I'm going to go about, I don't know, about a quarter inch wide. Down here at the bottom, I'm probably going to see about hooking it so I can lay it in here, so I can lay a piece across the bottom and then up the side. That way when you put the knife in the sheath, the edge of the blade hits the welt and not the stitches, because I had forgot about putting in a welt on the last sheath I made, and trust me, it made a difference. I've had to go back and cut and replace those threads numerous times. Alright, here we've got the welt. You can see it's, what I'm going to do is when it's done, it's just going to sit like that. Basically, when it's done, you'll have it looking like that. It looks just exactly like it is. It's three pieces 3 pieces all lined up together, and that way, like I said, when you put your knife in, your welt hits that, or your edge hits that, excuse me. Alright, what I'm doing is I'm just doing little triangles. Weave cuts, so it'll get this hard material to fold a little bit better. It gives it something to fold up on. Alright guys, I know that's not pretty. Let's see about making this cut even deeper. There we go. Don't want to go too deep. Which I almost did. But if I put it there, back it up just a hair, gives me enough room to sew, to stitch there. Okay, actually that piece is pretty much just the right size. What I'm going to do now, seeing as that piece is pretty much just the right size, I'm going to come across here. I'm just going to flatten this piece out and mark it. I've got a rough outline there. Very rough outline, but it's a rough outline. I'm going to cut that piece down. I'm just going to cut it straight down here. And I'm going to take it, flip it over, and put it over here. And cut it again. So that way I'll take this piece. Okay guys, here's the second piece that I just traced out from the first one. And what you see is that additional paper clip. And I'm going to use that to hold everything together while I start sewing it. I'm going to cut out the second piece down this line. Then I'll just put the pieces together, use the clip, and fold them together. Okay, now that I have the two pieces cut out, what I'll do is I'll put them together and let you take a look before I start sewing. Okay, with this being the second piece, I'm going to go back to this first piece. Flip it over, because remember I had that sewing edge. It's the back edge of the knife, or excuse me, the back edge of the sheath. What I'm going to do, just look at this. I'm going to take that edge, bring it together. See, take and wrap, cut it that way. I may just take and sew those together. What I'm going to do for this, you can see the old square for where it was sewn on. I may use that as a guide, just as the front of it. I'm just using my belt as a guide. It's more than big enough. Okay. So if I were to sew that there, I can go across the top, and I can always go down the sides too. But I'll sew that on, then we'll put everything together. Captured it there. On the back side I've captured it there. That'll just give me a rough place to hold it. I'll come up a little bit with it. See, and also this way I can get it straight. That way what I'll do is I'll sew through all three layers at the same time. Get this so it comes through that gap in the table. There we are. Take that first piece, pull that first piece through, and as you can see, it has a tendency to be pretty tight. What you do is you pull enough through on that first stitch so you have enough sticking out. Back out. at the width of your stitch. Put that through. Make a little bit of a loop right there. Take that first piece you put through and run it through there. And what this will do is this makes a lock stitch. Then you pull it back through and pull it tight. The reason I can pull it tight here is I put a thumb here to hold that spool from rolling. Set your next stitch up. And just keep doing that. The end of my end's all frayed. Let's cut it off. Get it nice and smooth. Come through here. Wow, that one just didn't want to come through. It was like my spool was stuck or something. But, like my grandfather always used to say, it's not the fact that you're afraid, it's what you do with it. Alright, now that I've got that couple of stitches through, take that off, set it aside. See, it's almost like a saddle stitch, but it's what they call a lock stitch. And just keep on stitching.